Okay, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful like Akim, pushing this word with truth and sincerity, and Shalom to the elect. This is going to be a quick lesson entitled Nobody is Safe. And we're going to get into it. You know, pretty much this is a post Trump made, Nero 47, giving a ultimatum of 48 hours before, America does something. And we're just going to go pretty much into the back and forth of these threats that have been going on, the last couple of days with America and Iran. All right. And, let's get into it, So you can read what's on the screen. But pretty much Trump gave that ultimatum. He said he going to hit a big power plant if they don't open up that strait. Okay? And that started with the this video I'm about to play right here. This is a fair use. But
to target tourist hotspots just as spring holidays get underway amid warnings of deadly sleeper agent attacks. A military spokesman for Iran vowed that popular tourist destinations including parks and recreational areas anywhere in the world will no longer be safe. While no specific locations were named, Western intelligence fears the activation of sleeper cells as
so it says Western intelligence fears activation of sleeper
thousands
cells.
jet off for Easter and spring break. This comes as Iran steadily builds its long-range missiles, which can reach up to 3,000 kilometers. The jaw-dropping range means European nations such as Greece, Turkey, and Cyprus could now be under threat.
So let the weak say they are strong. And, that threat was made first, and then Trump responded with the other one. Okay. And, as we continue on, the mirth is gone in this world. Okay, now, as spring break comes to a close, but, and you still have these upcoming holidays, all the holidays of this world, are potential error risks, threats or attacks, black swan events, false flags, and that's pretty much what it is. So you see this prepper full spectrum survival, he was pretty much saying the same thing that was said in that video, so I ain't gonna say it, but or I'm not gonna play it. But no city is safe. I'll just read the headline. The line has been crossed. Law enforcement, military warning, no city is safe. Right. They said that they potentially targeting banks, so on and so forth, as that video just said. All right. And this is to show you what's going on in Babylon.
Behind the camera this morning with me. Roger, give them this perspective.
And this is due to the, as you read the headline, massive lines at airports nationwide after Republicans blocked 7 bills to fund TSA, so they're not getting funded right now. I believe this was from yesterday, and I don't think there's been any progress in that.
Unbelievable. Thousands and thousands of travelers just trying to get through the main TSA checkpoint. They have wrapped this line through the baggage claim area over here by Delta, and I got to behind the camera this morning.
Okay, so you see the madness. All right. And it's almost like everything is being orchestrated for another, LD, for another lockdown, for another, for a reason. for them to implement and not only shut this place down, but implement their NWO. All right, as you had the Moabite professor or whatever, come out and say that the Third World War will, the MOTB is going to come out of it. All right. But yeah, something big is going to happen. Don't know when, it could be tomorrow, it could be later today. We hear something. This is Matthew 24 and 8 and 6. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Right? And we're hearing and seeing these rumors of war. But this is what was going to happen before the end comes. And we still have time before that end comes. All right. So it was, it's like they making it hard to travel, which that is prophetic. Second Esdras 15. They showing you that these threats are being made to target these holidays and travel locations. All right. And then that there's potential that first video I played said that they fear sleeper cells being activated. All right. And Iran had made that statement that nobody is safe. All right. So we're coming into those times. As the scriptures say, perilous times. The devil got something in the works for sure. Okay, and we're just, waiting to see how it plays out. But we know that ultimately the elect has that protection, all right, that mark of exemption from Yahweh Shem Shai. This is Jeremiah 30 and 6. But you other people, all right, starting with the 2/3 of our nation here in Babylon the Great, and the wicked of our nation spread out throughout the world, and these other inhabitants of the world, are y'all gonna be effed when it pops off. This is Jeremiah 30 and 6. Ask ye now, and see whether a man do travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces will turn into paleness. And that's the distraught, and that's that even mighty men are gonna be seen as a woman giving birth, in pain, because it's gonna be that sickening. All right, it's gonna be that bad. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. That he being saved out of it, is the elect of Israel. All right, those that have the protection and covering of Yahweh Shem Shai. I think I'm done with YouTube, so we do that. All right. So yeah. And one thing I will say, if brothers do go and watch this video from the other day, he had made a statement that, America will get touched. And as it says in Isaiah, the 47th chapter, it says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground." All right, and Babylon the Great is and let's highlight that it says the daughter of Babylon. Babylon the Great came out of Babylon. All right, this is speaking about America. And it says, and why is it likened like a virgin? Because this land has never had war on it. Okay, after following to the extent that it's going to see, because you have had the Civil War, the French Indian War, as it's called. But after that, to this caliber, nothing has taken place here. It says, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Right? Why? Because this place is going to get jacked up. All right. And the inhabitants ain't ready for it. They think what's going on in the Middle East going to stay in the Middle East. All right. But you got to highlight that statement, as it says in Ecclesiasticus 5, nothing small. Let's actually grab that. 1 second. Let's grab that so I don't butcher the scripture. And Ecclesiasticus 5:15. And it says, be not ignorant of anything in a great or a small matter. All right. And that stood out was that Western intelligence fears that sleeper cells are going to be activated. Okay. Now, whether it's at the hand of Esau Edom, doing an FF, or if it's at the hand, some BS, some black swan, or whether it's really Iran doing it, it doesn't matter. All right, it's still going to happen. It's still going to cause distress to the people. It's still going to be devastating. And as the scriptures say, this man does not care about himself. He that that's also in Sirach. He that is bad to himself, whom will he be good to? So let's go here in Isaiah, the 13th chapter. And let's go verse 6. How ye, for the day of Yahweh is at hand, it shall come as destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt. And they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed at one another. Their faces shall be as flames. Okay? We see this coming. All right, the prophets have been warning you that these dark days are ahead. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. And when that first strike hit, that first big event happens, hey, people gonna bug out. It's gonna be all out chaos out of here, Yeah. Let's actually get 14th verse and read down to 16, and then we'll go somewhere else with it. It says, and it shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, all right, and flee every one into his own land. And you actually seeing that, hey, starting with those South Africans, they went back, they trying to go back home. They ain't through with they done with America. They said this is bullshit. All right, just to add that in there. All right, people that came here to prosper for a little bit, they seeing that Babylon is through, and they jetting back to their house. Also is speaking about like everybody that is going, as it says, neighbor shall turn against neighbor. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Okay? And that's going to, when these sleeper cells get activated, what you think they gonna be doing, man? Their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished. Okay? We know what that means. All right? That true Edomite spirit, as you had that one military Edomite talking about, oh, I hope they don't send me to Iran, because those beautiful dark skinned women, we know that what he was plotting on. All right, his true feelings was coming out and being showed to you. All right, and we'll go here to Second Esdras. Second Esdras 15. We'll read it in verse 14. Woe to the world that and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Okay. And this civil conflict is coming, to America, because a lot of people was against what's actually going on, and don't agree with why we're actually even out there. Speaking about America. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes. All right, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power, so they're not going to, abide by the law. A state of lawlessness is coming. A man shall be desired to go into a city, shall not be able to. All right, potentially why they shut down, and not funding TSA. All right. And this is going to, one thing leads to another, builds, and then it's gonna, ultimately people gonna get fed up to a certain point, and then a big event's gonna happen, and people just gonna straight up lose it. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. There we go with that, men being afraid. So if the men are afraid, what do you think the women are going to be? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses and with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So, everything all at once. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay them things that they have done to them. Okay, so this war is, is on the way, man. It's on the way. It's gonna, ultimately, let's go here. That this attack, that Iran is going to, at some point in time, hit, Babylon the Great. It says here, behold, a horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that they which hear them may fear and tremble. All right. And these, that is speaking about these other nations around Saudi Arabia. All right. These other, teaming up with with Iran. Okay, also the Carmanians raging in wrath, the Carmanians being Iran, going back to the Persians, says, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with a great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. The Assyrians, pertaining to, Babylon the Great. And there's many scriptures that link Assyria to modern day Babylon. I had another video that I couldn't find, pretty much showing Eve, she was on spring break and gunshots was going out, and she over there trying to look cute, talking about, I'm too big to run. And that's the spirit that these dumbass Americans is in. But if I find it, I'll do another lesson on it. It's 1 Thessalonians 5:1, but the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night. As I believe the elder in Mississippi had brought out. I got it from one of the elders out there. That night in the Greek means nukes. It means a time of no morality. Let's actually get that and just show it. It says, the time when work ceases, the time of death, the time of deeds of sin and shame, the time of moral stupidity and darkness. Okay, the time that when the weary and also the drunken give themselves up to slumber. That's the state that you Americans are in, you Babylonians are in. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. And, just another thing, you better get right with the Lord before, that the day of the Lord. All right. And because this dark day is ahead and we're drawing nearer to it. So with that, I say shalom.